Welcome to Headphone News, Seattle edition for Tuesday, December 17, 2024.
New rule for rear seatbelt reminders in U.S. vehicles. The U.S. Transportation Department has introduced a new rule that requires systems to remind drivers to check seatbelts in the back seat of vehicles, starting in late 2027. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates this rule will prevent over 500 injuries and save about 50 lives each year. These reminder systems will alert drivers to look in the back seat before leaving the car. This initiative aims to increase seatbelt use among backseat passengers and reduce injuries and deaths from traffic accidents. Car makers will need to comply with this rule, which might change how much cars cost and how easy they are to find. This requirement is part of ongoing efforts to improve road safety across the United States.
U.S. Government Funding Negotiations Update. On December 16, 2024, reports indicate that Republican and Democratic negotiators in Congress are close to a deal on a temporary spending bill. This bill is designed to fund the government until March 14, 2025, and to prevent a government shutdown. The federal budget is around $6.2 trillion, which supports critical services like military operations and healthcare programs. If this bill doesn't pass, many government services could face interruptions, impacting millions of Americans. A government shutdown would mean temporary leave for federal employees and halt essential services. The outcome of these negotiations will greatly affect daily lives and the stability of important sectors, including healthcare and defense.
U.S. Senate advances defense spending bill. On December 16, 2024, the United States Senate voted to move forward with the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA. This important legislation approves a historic $895 billion for military spending in the upcoming budget year. The Senate's vote was 83 in favor and 12 against, easily surpassing the 60 votes needed for passage. The NDAA includes a significant pay raise of 14.5% for the lowest-ranking troops, and a 4.5% increase for the rest of the military. However, a disputed part of the bill aims to ban certain gender-affirming care for transgender children of service members, highlighting ongoing discussions about transgender rights in the U.S. Having been passed every year for over 60 years, the NDAA is crucial to U.S. defense policy. The bill will soon be sent to President Joe Biden for his signature to become law.
Trump critiques pharmacy benefit managers, stocks drop. On December 16, 2024, shares of major health insurance companies fell after former President Donald Trump criticized pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, during a news conference in Palm Beach, Florida. Trump called these middlemen responsible for increasing medication prices and announced plans to remove their role in the healthcare system. As a result, CVS Health saw its shares fall by 5.35% to $46.73, Cigna's shares decreased by 2.6% to $274.63, and United Health Group's shares dropped by 3.54% to $502.07. Trump's comments came after a dinner with leaders from drug companies, where they discussed the issue of high medication prices. Removing pharmacy benefit managers could lead to lower prices for drugs, but it might also disrupt existing healthcare contracts.
New laws in Washington state on driving and hate crimes. New laws in Washington state will take effect on January 1, 2025, focusing on negligent driving and hate crimes. The first law makes it a serious offense if negligent driving leads to the death of someone vulnerable on the road, like pedestrians and cyclists. Offenders could face up to 364 days in jail, and fines ranging from $1,000 to $5,000. The second law addresses negligent driving that causes serious injuries to vulnerable road users. Additionally, a hotline will be established for reporting hate crimes, providing support to victims during business hours. This hotline will begin as a trial in 3 counties by July 1, 2025. With plans to expand statewide by January 1, 2027. An annual report on hate crimes will also start in 2027. These laws aim to enhance public safety and protect at-risk populations in Washington state.
Bald eagle becomes national bird of the United States. The bald eagle is set to become the national bird of the United States. In July 2024, the Senate unanimously approved the bill, with Senator Tammy Baldwin announcing the decision after Majority Leader Chuck Schumer moved it forward. Now, the bill is waiting for the House of Representatives to give its approval. This exciting development was inspired by Preston Cook, a collector from Wabasha, Minnesota, who has gathered an impressive collection of 40,000 eagle-related items. Wabasha is proudly known as the Eagle Capital of America. The bald eagle has symbolized freedom since it was featured on the Great Seal in 1782. This bill aims to officially recognize a national bird in U.S. law, highlighting the importance of wildlife conservation and national identity. The significance of the bald eagle has been a topic of discussion since the founding of the nation.
Concerns about rising drone sightings in the U.S. Recent reports reveal a surge in strange drone sightings across the United States, particularly on the East Coast and in Los Angeles. Many lawmakers are worried and are pushing for tougher rules on drone activities. In Los Angeles, a local resident recorded a video of an unknown object flying over her home, raising concerns about privacy and safety. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, recently changed its rules to allow drones to fly at night, which has contributed to the increase in sightings. There are over 800,000 registered drones in the U.S., with about 8,000 in the air each day. Lawyers caution that interfering with drone flights could lead to serious consequences. This ongoing debate emphasizes the need for responsible drone use to ensure public safety and protect privacy.
U.S. government increases oversight on China Telecom. The U.S. Commerce Department is closely monitoring China Telecom's operations in the United States due to serious concerns about the potential misuse of American data. The company has 30 days to respond to an initial decision issued to China Telecom Americas. This action follows the Federal Communications Commission's 2021 decision to revoke China Telecom America's permission to operate in the U.S. because of national security risks. Reports suggest that President Biden's administration is increasingly worried about China's efforts to penetrate American telecommunications and steal sensitive information. China Telecom has incorrectly directed internet traffic in the U.S. on multiple occasions, raising alarms about security weaknesses. This ongoing investigation could impact U.S.-China relations and lead to further regulatory measures.
Senators call for action on SNAP benefits. 6 Democratic senators are calling on Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack to take immediate action to protect the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. This program helps over 42 million low-income individuals and families buy food. Recent reports reveal that over $150 million in stolen benefits have been returned to SNAP participants, but the actual losses are likely much higher. The senators highlight the urgent need for modern EBT cards, which currently lack essential security features. These cards are at risk of theft through skimming. California plans to introduce more secure chip cards in early 2025, with Alabama and Oklahoma expected to follow next summer. The senators stress that updating EBT card security is vital to prevent further thefts and ensure families can access their benefits. Without prompt action, many families may lose access to crucial food assistance.
Market update. Futures dip as bond yields rise ahead of Federal Reserve meeting. U.S. stock index futures fell as bond yields increased. The yield on the U.S. 10-year Treasury note went above 4.42%, reaching its highest level in over 3 weeks. Traders are expecting retail sales data, likely showing a 0.5% increase for November, which will provide insights into consumer spending. Many analysts predict 0.25% cut in interest rates from the Federal Reserve, although the central bank may choose to keep rates steady in January. The S&P 500 index is on track for a year-to-date rise of over 27%, marking its best performance since 2019. This growth is driven by gains in technology companies and optimism about economic policies from President-elect Donald Trump. Investors are being careful as they watch these developments and their potential effects on the economy.
TikTok's legal challenge in the U.S. TikTok is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to stop a law that could ban the app. This law requires ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, to sell the app to a buyer outside of China by January 19, 2025. If ByteDance doesn't follow this rule, TikTok could be removed from app stores like those run by Apple and Google. With around 170 million users in the United States, TikTok argues that this ban would violate free speech rights. On the other hand, the U.S. government raises national security concerns, fearing that TikTok might collect sensitive data from American citizens. In December 2024, a U.S. Court of Appeals rejected TikTok's claim that the ban is unconstitutional. Some members of Congress are against the ban, saying it's rushed and raises important free speech issues. The outcome of this legal battle could have serious consequences for U.S.-China relations and impact small businesses that rely on TikTok for marketing.
Record high U.S. equity allocations. A recent survey from Bank of America Global Research shows that investors are putting more money into U.S. equities than ever before. This shift is happening at the expense of European stocks, commodities, and cash holdings. The survey included 171 participants who manage a total of $420 billion in assets. There's a strong sense of hopefulness about U.S. economic growth, driven by expectations of tax cuts and less regulation if Donald Trump returns to the presidency. Currently, cash allocations are at their lowest level since April 2021, and investments in commodities have dropped to their lowest since June 2017. Investors are also holding the largest reduced investment in European stocks since October 2022. Overall, this trend highlights a clear preference for U.S. equities over European investments.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's headphone news. News summary brought to you by AI.